We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports 1140. It's time for game night. Getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket.
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
Right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Hopefully we kick off your weekend on a good note. If you're driving home, take it easy. Beautiful weather out there in our capital city. We've got the final Kings preseason basketball game tonight. The Kings in LA to take on the Lakers. It's interesting, High Flyer. First of all, happy Friday to you.
Back at your scooter.
Here. Little Kings hoops to kick things off. Obviously, it's been a rough start for Sacramento. It's their fourth preseason. Try to put it, just throwing it out there. But it's their fourth preseason game. But what's interesting for the Lakers, it's their sixth preseason game tonight.
How can they squeeze in an extra one?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Two.
And why isn't it uniform? You know, you would think that every team would play the same amount of preseason games, but for the Lakers, it's number 6.
Okay.
So, and again, it's preseason, so
it don't count.
It don't count. So we don't care about the wins or losses. We've said that the entire time we've been doing this program for the last several years. Obviously, having said that, it didn't look a lot better against the Clippers on Wednesday night for Sacramento. So I don't know what to make of anything and if we should make anything of anything here.
Well, the one thing that we can definitely say stood out was the Clippers are loaded.
They are.
Loaded. I mean, what they came off the bench with, Scott, I really sat there, man, and I looked, I'm like, are you kidding me? You start a first ballot Hall of Famer in James Harden.
Yep.
And then coming off the bench for
Two
him.
first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah. I'm saying coming off the bench for him is a guy who I think is a better point guard than James Harden.
Yep.
You got Chris Paul coming off your bench.
Yep.
Right? And then you had
who can still play.
You had Derrick Jones Jr. coming off your bench. You had John Collins, a guy that we would have loved to have in the Sacramento.
Lopez.
And Brooke Lopez.
Mr. Three-Pointer.
Sweetness off the glass.
Yes.
Just touch was like a guard out there. Any one of those guys we probably would have loved to have here in Sacramento on this basketball team.
There's no question. It's an incredible roster they've put together.
I mean, even when you talk about the greatness that Russell Westbrook has and what he's going to bring to this basketball team, I would have much rather had Chris Paul. Because I think, Russ is going to bring all of that, but Chris Paul is the closest thing to a coach that you're going to get on a basketball roster in the whole league.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. Obviously, a lot to talk about with Russell Westbrook. Probably will not play tonight. But we'll see him next week, and we'll get into that signing. Obviously, Scott Perry was on earlier on this station with Jason Ross. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. But just kind of overall thoughts again. Again, we're not concerned wins or losses. I guess you do look for a ramp-up in the preseason a little bit, or maybe do you even look for that? Was there anything from Wednesday night that we can take away at all, or do we just flush it and move on?
It was tough. I mean, a couple of things. I still love what Nick Nick Clifford is bringing out there on the floor.
He's been outstanding.
He is going to be a very nice talent and a guy that you're going to have to cultivate, but I think he has some tangibles. He's going to be a pretty good player.
And he's the definition of a 23-year-old rookie. I mean, he looks every bit the part of 23, not 18, 19, or 20.
A guy that's coming into the league ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, are you going to be able to utilize Max as a 7-footer? Seeing that Keegan's out, probably. He might be able to come in and give you some minutes. The young kid Caldwell is still, impressing.
Yes, he is.
Out there. You know, being able to be a big guy that blocks shots and grab rebounds. And, you know, when I talked to Doug in Vegas, the first thing came to mind, Doug said, you know, he's going to play the Scott Pollard position. You know, just a big guy that's going to lumber and bring wood and grab rebounds and block shots. And he's doing that pretty well.
He's done that extremely well so far. So those are some of the positives. And specifically with Nick Clifford and, of course, with Keegan being out a minimum 4 to 6 weeks before he gets reevaluated.
That's tough.
It is extremely
hurts.
tough. Kings will have to find a way to survive the early part of the schedule, which is tough too. Do you see any scenario where Nick Clifford's in that starting 5?
Only way the Kings are going to have to be playing a very small basketball club. Because who do you put down at the 4? Nick Clifford is not a 4. As talented as he isn't a 4-man. Same thing with DeMar DeRozan. We've seen what happened when the Kings put DeMar down into the 4 position last year. I mean, you know, you remember Aaron Gordon went for 13 in the first quarter.
I still have nightmares about that Denver game from last
So,
year.
you know, and here's the deal. No slide, no shade on DeMar.
Sure.
You know, played as good as he could, but he's not 6'7", 6'8", 6'9".
No.
To go up against an athletic freak like that. So, you know, like I said, depends upon who the Kings play. You know, I've always asked you the question, and, you know, I've done this since Sabonis has been here. I've always asked you, do you feel warm and fuzzy when we have to go to the bench and sit Sabonis down? The only time I did is when we had Valanciunas. I said, okay, I'm fine when Sabonis goes down. Get in foul trouble? Cool. We got a guy that can hold it. I think this year, I really didn't say, do you feel warm and fuzzy about Sabonis? I really said, do you feel warm and fuzzy about Keegan? Mm-hmm. Keegan's not going to be at our disposal, and you never thought that he would be down, right?
No.
But I'm like, where do we go from here? This dude is our number 1 defender.
Yep.
He's one of our 3-point shooters.
Yes.
And he's got to be second in rebounding for the team. What he brings for the Sacramento Kings really can't be measured, bro. Nobody's going to come in and fill Keegan Murray's shoes.
Can't replace it. And to your point with Sabonis, you can't replace him either. He's not going to play tonight. We know that. The good news is the hamstring does not seem to be as severe. But when we saw him leave in the third quarter, and I didn't really even see what happened, to be honest with you. He just went off the court midway through the third quarter, did not return, told that it was a hamstring issue. But if they can't be with him next week as well, being down 2 of your starters, that is a rough way to start the year.
And we already talked about the front court was thin. The front court was very thin. Okay, you know, you got Keegan, you got Sabonis. Okay, they're in your starting 5. They'll be able to hold down their positions. But when you had to go to the bench, it was still a question. When you go to the bench for Keegan, who's coming off? And then, okay, when you go to the bench for Sabonis, Eubanks is going to be the first thing come off the bench for Sabonis, but he's not giving you a Sabonis-type play.
No.
See, that's where I look and say the Kings are going to have to be able to really switch up. Mm-hmm. You know, Eubanks don't do the same thing Sabonis does out there on the floor.
No.
He's not the passer that Sabonis is, so you don't run the offense through him.
You can't.
Right?
Nope.
So he's not the ball handler that Sabonis is, so you're not going to start the fast break with him.
Nope.
So the way you have to play is going to have to change.
Completely different. And it'll be interesting to see if Eubanks gets the start next week if Sabonis can't go. So a lot of questions. This Kings team already coming in with a lot of questions. They think they'd have to deal with this early in the year, but that's life in the NBA.
It is. And, if you watch this basketball club and you said prior to Westbrook coming, you had 10 questions. Now all of a sudden, Keegan's down, Sabonis down, we signed Westbrook. Now you got 20 questions.
Exactly.
You have 20 questions now because you really want to know how are we going to fix this? How are we going to Band-Aid this? Yeah. How are you going to keep this thing going when you got two of your starting five that's down, front court is thin as is, and now you're triple log jammed with guards?
No doubt about it. And obviously Westbrook will play some point. You brought in Schroeder to start at the point, so it'll be interesting to see how they share time, how you get everybody else working this together. And I think, again, we've listened to Scott Perry. He came on our morning show today, and he is much admitted it's a work in progress. It's not a finished roster. They're working to build the identity this year. That seemingly is the most important mission that they're trying to get done here.
Now, Scott, I honestly understand the sentiment of why you bring Russell Westbrook on this team. You have a bunch of young guys. Mm-hmm. You're trying to change a culture.
Yep.
You're trying to set the presence. You want a up-in-your-face type team. Russell Westbrook.
You're going to get that.
Russ is all of those things. Now, what Russell Westbrook you're going to get is going to be the question. Is Russ on board with everything that you need him to do? I'll tell you what, there's one thing that you don't have to question about Russ is the energy and effort he's going to bring every night. I have never looked at Russell Westbrook and said he's dogging it. Never.
Ever.
I don't care if they're up 20, down 20. I've never have to look at them like that. So, like I said, setting the presence, if you're a young guy on that roster, on the bench, and you see 3-time triple-double winner, straight first ballot Hall of Famer, Russell Westbrook, dive in the crowd, dive on the floor. Oh, you best believe you better hit the floor the next time the ball comes. It ain't even a question about it.
Yep.
Because this dude sets the presence that way. So I can see why Scott Perry is like, in the full scheme of things, this is what we're trying to build. Bring this dude.
Yep. No, it makes sense from that perspective.
Right.
It doesn't make sense from all the guards they already have, although they really only have two true point guards on this roster.
And it's tough with that. And really, Scott, we're going to call it what it is on this show. I honestly think that they might have been looking at Russell for a while, but the main reason why they pulled the trigger is that those first two games looking at Dennis, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Dennis ain't bringing it the way they thought he was going to bring it. I mean, he might turn it around, but the first two games, Dennis has struggled.
Yeah, no, it's been a rough transition so far. But again,
like I said,
preseason, of course.
Might change, but right now it's like, okay, he's struggling. So you're going to have a backup to your backup.
Yeah.
And that's why it is like, okay, well, you know what? This dude brings all the tangibles that we need for someone to be that locker room guy. Might as well just take a swing at it.
Yeah, no doubt. It might have accelerated things. It seems like they were interested in him regardless. 1 year veteran minimum $3.6 million contract. All right, game night's underway, the High Flyer, and I will be with you until 7 o'clock tonight. We can take your phone calls at 916-339-1140. We're up and running on the YouTube for the first time this season. Great new graphics. Check that out, High Flyer.
Nice. I like that.
Good. You're looking sharp.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to have to shave from now on, man. I know I'm going to be on TV.
This is
like
HD,
that.
baby.
Yeah.
You got the Sweet King swag going.
Yeah, we streaming like that. I'm going to come dress a little bit sexier from now on.
Get the sexy going.
Yeah, get my sexy up.
All right. Game night being brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the Power family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. When we come back, we'll follow up a little bit more from Wednesday, the glaring needs, things going into the regular season, which is just 5 days away.
It's coming.
5 days.
Hey, it's coming down the pipe quick.
It is coming. Wednesday night in Phoenix, the home opener 1 week from tonight, as the Utah Jazz in town as well. Back with more game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey man, gaining weight, low energy, lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter, so who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Everybody knows that Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the spot to get yourself a brand new car. That's why people are coming from all over. Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville. But they also have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes and models, every one of them top quality, hand-selected by General Manager Chuck Dean. Over 70 vehicles below $30,000, over 25 below $20,000. You can see that full lineup at SacSuperstore.com, and if you find a lower price somewhere else, they'll match it. And on top of that, the best car buying experience anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It's the energy all around you. Lightning and the thunder. The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Game Night being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Let's go Marshall on with the high flyer Henry Turner. Kings and Lakers tonight. We haven't even talked about the Lake show. It's a no LeBron show tonight.
It's a no show tonight.
But it's the Luka show, and we've got some cuts from him. We'll talk about Luka and the Lakers.
The new look done.
The new look. Man, he has slimmed down, man.
Yeah.
He looks good.
You know what? It seems like he's taking it serious.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly think he has something to prove.
He does, for sure.
I think he has a chip on his shoulder, and he has something to prove. You know, when you're a player of his magnitude, you really get stuck in your own mind saying, I'm the best thing going on this team.
Yeah.
They won't ever remove me.
Right.
And when they do and it happens, you really have to take a look and say, whoa, what the hell just happened
Exactly.
here?
Biggest wake-up call of his life.
Right. I'm one of the best players in the league, and you're willing to move me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to show you. And it looks like he has that type of sentiment on his mind.
No doubt. He also knows he's the biggest force in L.A.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm going to play with the man. And now y'all going to really see who the man is because I'm going to show up and show out. I'm going to be in the best shape of my life.
Yep. All right, so we'll get into that a little bit later on here. We were talking about Scott Perry, who joined the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, was on with Jay Ross earlier this morning. We were talking about how you fill in for Keegan Murray when he's out for an extended time. Here's Scott Perry's thoughts on that.
Oh, definitely a challenge, but you know what I'm excited about is we have two young rookies in Max Reynolds and Dylan Cardwell, who I think has had a really good training camp. They bring a lot of energy to the court, and so let's get a chance. Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to see more of them and the type of energy they bring. Obviously, there's a lot for them to learn. There will be mistake-filled moments, but they'll be doing it with a lot of high energy, and they bring some size and presence to the floor as well too. So we'll see how they grow and develop during that short time. You know, Dario Saric, who's a veteran four-man in this league, did a nice job when he got his first opportunity when we played in Portland in terms of being able to space the floor, make shots. It also opens up an opportunity for Isaac Jones.
All right, there we go with Scott Perry and some of the thoughts. Interesting response just in the respect talking about seeing the rookies in terms of some of the replacements for Keegan Murray. And again, setting more of the mindset of maybe where they see the foundation being laid here.
Setting more of the mindset, Scott, of cultivating talent. I like that. In order to cultivate, you got to throw those boys out there in the fire, and they got to be able to play. And seeing that you got a chance now, I always say, I try to always take an injury and find the silver lining in it. You know, even when De'Aaron went down, we didn't want to see De'Aaron go down, but I was like, that's going to give Malik Monk time to shine. And it did. So Keegan Murray is out. Maybe we get a chance to see what Max can do. I don't know if Max is going to be at the 4. You know, I would say maybe we get a chance to see a little more IJ because remember we always said IJ was the odd man out.
And that's where I was going. I was surprised that Isaac Jones was not mentioned in that conversation, right?
But he did say IJ.
Oh, good. Okay,
yeah.
good.
He said IJ. IJ has been the odd man out.
He's the one guy I would personally like to see get some playing time and see what he can do.
You know, him and Dario Saric probably are going to be the 1-2 combo that's going to play the 4 position.
Bless you, High Flyer.
Thank you, sir. You know, y'all got this AC on, man. They be killing me up in here. It be hot one moment, and
We're
then
just chilling in here.
Yeah, and then you're chilling the next time. my allergies go wild.
No, understood. So that was the response that he had in terms of the Keegan timeout, and we'll see. I mean, you know, all of those options are unproven at this moment. There you go, High Flyer. Bless you again. They're going to get some opportunities early on. They're going to be tested by fire.
Well, the wild thing is that, Keegan's out. He's going to be out for a while, but we don't have no time frame on Sabonis. So we're trying to figure out who's going to place Keegan. Now you got to replace your whole starting front court.
And hopefully Sabonis will be back next week. I mean, Scott Perry was pretty deflective of that question in terms of a timeline for Sabonis, just that he wouldn't play tonight.
And and when they don't give a time frame, that makes me kind of wonder. Okay, is he going to be ready for the regular season? I know we got some games, we got some practice time, but you know, a hamstring is one of those things to where you definitely don't want to rush it.
No,
because
you can't.
if you re-aggravate it, now he's going to be down for a while. So,
and we saw that with Sabonis last year.
Yes, I would much rather say, hey, if he don't start the season, he don't play the first couple of games, get him back 100 before you bring him back.
Absolutely have to. That's the number one thing. Again, we're up and running on our YouTube. You can go watch us there at Sactown Sports. X. We're taking comments in there. Of course, taking your phone calls, 916-339-1140 as well. Malik Monk, he won't play tonight. Still not feeling well. No biggie tonight about that. But in terms of Malik and where he fits in the playing time, I'm still interested to see, probably more than any other player right now.
Ooh, Scott. That wrench is so huge, I don't know which way to tighten the screw. Because, all right, really, I think it's a question, who's going to start? Is Russell going to start or is Schroeder going to start?
Right. I think it's going to be Schroeder to begin the year.
Okay.
Right.
So Schroeder starts. Russell comes off the bench at the point guard position. Zach LaVine starts at the 2. Malik Monk comes off at the 2 position. Now, those are 4 guys, but we got 6, 7 guys that we got to think about because you got Keon Ellis.
He's going to get playing time.
Keon Ellis probably is your best defender out of all 5, right?
Yeah.
And then you got DC, the young guard that, they need to try to find time to play him. And we ain't even talked about Terrence Davis.
Right, TD. It's not even been mentioned.
Right, we ain't even thought about Terrence Davis. And then you want to kind of slide Nick Clifford in there at some guard spot also.
Yeah.
So, bro, where you go with all this?
No doubt.
The only way, Scott, the only way that this is going to work is that you're going to see DeRozan and Nick Clifford playing a lot of 4.
And that's what I was going to get to right there, because if you were saying earlier that if Nick Clifford isn't a 4, how much playing time do you work around with DeMar DeRozan? One of them, if they're going to be both on the floor.
One of them going to have to go to the 4.
Yeah.
Like I said, at some particular point, I said this the other night too, Scott. I said at some particular point, Doug Christie is going to have 5 guards and 1 big out there to make this work. Because, if you want to have Russ on the floor, you want to have Zach on the floor, you want to have Debo on the floor, and let's say you want Nick Clifford on the floor.
Yep.
Everybody there is under 6'6". Everybody's under 6'6".
Yeah.
So you better have a guy that's going to gobble up rebounds, because if you don't, you're going to get killed.
Yep.
And then you would think that if you got to roll an average of a 6'7" lineup out there, because everybody else is 6'6" and under, and you might have a big guy out there that's 6'9" or maybe 7 foot. So you got an average of 6'7". You would think that you're running a high octane offense.
Up and down the floor.
Up and down.
Lighting up threes.
You better get out there and run like wild savages, but
let it fly.
Are the dudes you got out there going to be conducive to play that style?
No question. I think the other thing, too, we know how important the three-point shot is in this league. Defensively, the Kings have not proven that they can defend the three-point shot, something in the preseason that hasn't happened. Offensively, maybe it's less of a concern because shots go in and out. Understand that. You're more concerned about looks than percentages. At some point, it's got to change. But they haven't been shooting the three-pointer well at all early on.
No, they really have. I mean, the three ball really has been non-existent. I would say the only person that's shooting the ball well from 3 is Zach.
Yeah, he's had a good preseason.
Yeah. Zach has really looked tuned in out there as far as the 3 ball go. But, I look at Zach. I hate to do this to a player, but, the type of guy he is, if you're going to be that alpha, you're going to have to be able to carry that weight. Zach is going to have to do a little bit of everything, Scott. He's going to have to handle the ball some. He's going to have to shoot threes. He's going to have to be able to get to the basket and score with the trees. Yeah. He's going to have to be able to rebound a little bit better. He's going to have to be able to facilitate. He's going to have to be doing a little bit of all world out there for this basketball team, because that's just where we are. Yep. We need his talent to really be able to shine, because we need it. We're down.
No doubt. Every man's going to stand up and do something at this point. All right. When we come back, we'll get some more cuts from General Manager Scott Perry, who was on with us earlier today with Jason Ross. We'll get you ready for Kings and Lakers. It's game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
They say the hardest part of getting something done is getting started. Well, we did that 30 years ago, when California first took on the tobacco industry. Now, smoking is down 60%, lung cancer 52%. A couple of our cities have already ended tobacco sales. A California without big tobacco isn't just possible, it's already happening. See our progress at undo.org.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Kings-Lakers game a long time ago. I'm not expecting that tonight.
I was about to say, I don't even think Rick is in town.
But that's where these games are at, even for a preseason game many years ago.
It's going to always be that for us here in Sacramento. I've always said that, I don't even think the Lakers fanfare even think about us as far as rivalries, but we always think about them as our rivalry because that's where we are in our heyday.
No question. We'll see what kind of intensity is brought out there for both teams' last preseason game. Usually speaking, the last preseason game is tapered off a little bit. You're not seeing your starters for as much as you might have in some of the other games. Tonight might be different, especially for Sacramento. We know Keegan and Sabonis aren't playing, but I mean, the fact again, you've only had 4 preseason games. The first 3 sample sizes haven't necessarily looked like the Kings wanted it to.
And you really have to figure out how are the Kings going to approach this game because there's no Sabonis,
right?
There's no Keegan,
no Malik.
There's no Malik. There's no Russell Westbrook,
right?
So that's 4.
Yes.
of your main guys that you don't have at your disposal. So, you're going to have some other guys in there playing. So, you really have to have provision to say, it's not going to be 100% all hunky-dory. You're going to have some turnovers. You're going to have some mistakes out there on the floor. And then you talk about integrating a new point guard in Dennis. So, it's not going to be fluent, Scott. I'm sorry. No. It really isn't. It's still going to be a work in progress. Now, for us and everybody here in Sacramento, we want the work and the progress. We want to see the progress, and I think that's more so where the Kings are.
No question. And again, the ultimate question always comes down to the fan base and what are the expectations and what are they willing to accept based on kind of what we're hearing right now and where things are going.
Well, we're going to have to accept that we're not a championship team. We're not going to be fighting for the championship. Yeah. All right. I honestly don't think we're not going to be a top 5, top 6 squad. It's going to be very tough in the West. Now, when you talk about a play-in team, I think that's where the Sacramento Kings are going to fall down to. They're going to be fighting to get into the play-in. And, and that's going to be if things go well. They're going to be in the play-in and be fighting to try to make the playoffs through the play-in.
All right. Well, we were talking about the crowded backcourt. Scott Perry addressed that. That was one of the questions that was asked earlier this morning by Jason. Here's Scott Perry's response to the crowded backcourt.
Well, I rationalize about it. Like I said, again, I've had a chance to be around this team for a few weeks right now. Like I tell you, Dennis Schroeder is the one guy who's the point guard in the building. Everyone else that you mentioned are all secondary ball handlers. Now Westbrook gives us a legit guy that plays the point guard position in the backup capacity there. And so that's how we really rationalize it. I think competition is a good thing. Mm-hmm. All of those kind of things will work themselves out. When you start building out a roster, that takes time too. And you don't just – so, yeah, we may have a number of guards right now on the roster. We recognize that. But, again, in terms of having the skill set to organize and run a team, now Russ gives us a second guy that I have extreme confidence in that can do that. And we'll work and build from there. And guys will have to stay ready and take care of their opportunities as they come by during the season. And we recognize that we're not a finished product as well. And we'll spend this season again figuring out all those guys who subscribe to those 6 tenets and who are willing to push forward with us moving forward. And also, know that we'll need to address some things as we move forward.
So there you go. Thoughts from Scott Perry. What's your take there?
Interesting. He said the rest of the guys are secondary ball handlers. Mm-hmm. And bringing Russell here gives him a second legitimate point guard that he trusts. Says a lot.
Yep.
Says a lot. Says a lot, Scott, when you have a young Devin Carter. Says a lot. Says a lot when you have Keon Ellis. Says a lot when you have Nick Clifford. I mean, it says a lot when you have a lot of ball players that could, quote unquote, handle the ball. Mm-hmm. And seeing as much as Sabonis handles the ball to say, we need facilitators. You can even throw Malik Monk in there, a guy that basically started half of the year for you.
Right.
At the point guard position and really had some good numbers at point. So, a lot to chew on with that.
No doubt. And it sounds like, you're going to see either Schroeder or Westbrook on the floor at all times.
Right. And those two are going to have the ball in their hands at all times.
Yeah.
Now, I have no problem with that. Schroeder still has to show me that he can run this ball club. I have no question that Russell Westbrook can run a ball club. He's been doing it his whole career, and he's done it well. He's done it at the highest level. But with Russ, you know you're going to have to take the good with the bad. And if you're going to get the best version of Russell Westbrook, it's going to be the Russ that has the ball in his hands the majority of the time. Because when you look at Russ's overall body of work, when he's really struggled on these other teams is when they've taken the ball out of his hands. They put Russell in the corner and say, okay, be a piece of the pie.
He's not a stand-around guy.
That's not Russell Westbrook's game. He's got to have the ball in his hands. And, you know, as great as Russell Westbrook is, we all know Russ don't always make the right decisions. So you have to take the good with the bad with Russell. He's going to be able to give you a triple-double, but he's going to have some big-time mistakes in there also.
Yep.
You know, when you go across and look at Russ' whole body of work, he's able to give you 20 points. He's able to give you 12 assists. He's able to give you 10 rebounds, but he's also able to give you 6 turnovers.
And some ill-advised shots.
Right. So, you know, the thing about it, you have to take the good with the bad with Russ.
Yeah, no doubt. But it sounds like definitely he will have some extended playing time. And I think the other piece of it, which I think all of us assumed, and Scott Perry is outright saying, it's not a final product. It's not a final roster.
Oh, no,
what
never.
looks like in day one may not be the same roster we're looking at by February here.
I will always say this. When you're a GM, you never have a final product.
True.
I don't care if you have a championship squad on your hands.
That's true.
I bet Sam Presti right now is like,
how do I get better?
How do I get better? He has a championship squad.
Yeah.
So definitely, I love him for having that mindset. You don't never sit down as a GM and say, we're pretty good. We're good.
Done.
No.
Yeah.
You always got to find that one little piece to try to make you just that much better the next year.
True. Although I think in this situation, it's a little bit different in the respect that they know that they're going to make some changes here.
They have to. You know, I heard another little snippet of.
It's not a tinker, is what I'm trying to say. It's not a tweak.
No. It's going to be more than a tweak.
Yeah.
And I heard another little snippet to where he said that when you are inherited something, that you look at and say, okay, you know, I want to change this, but some of the changes that you want to make, you can't change it right off the bat.
Yep.
You know, I kind of put it in the situation of, if you inherit a 69 Camaro, that's a hell of a muscle car.
Yeah.
But it came with a 6-cylinder in it. And you're like, wait a minute, there ain't no way I'm about to keep this car with this motor in it.
That baby needs an 8-cylinder
But
in it.
you understand the motor that you want is going to cost you a $20,000 hit.
Yeah.
You just can't run out there
You're saving
and
up.
do it right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And to the point, they're not going to make change just for change's sake.
Right. They want to make the change that needs to be made.
Yeah. So Scott Perry has his work cut out for him, but he's got the 6 tenets. We know what Doug Christie's identity is. Again,
He said the 6 tenets.
that's what he's got.
I like that.
That's what they are.
I like that.
How would you
Okay.
describe them? What would you call them?
I wouldn't call them tenants.
Okay.
Because you know what? A tenant rents.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So a tenant gonna come and go. All right. You don't own anything. You might be here today, and you might be gone
the
tomorrow.
6 commandments.
Okay, I can roll with that.
All right.
You say the 6 tenants, boy.
Kyle, you got a word in there?
Principles.
Principles.
I can roll with that.
Fundamentals.
But the tenants let you know that, Kyle, if you don't pay your rent, you're going to get evicted,
What
bro.
if we call them the 6 landlords?
No. You have 6 landlords. You only got, hey, Scott's the landlord.
Okay.
You only have one landlord.
All right. Fair enough. All right. That's going to get us to the break. When we come back, we'll focus in a little Lakers. Obviously, the Kings taking on the Lakers, and we're going to see them 4 times in the regular season. We will not see LeBron tonight. We won't see him a week from Sunday when they come back for real. He's going to miss that game as well. We'll break down Luka and the Lakers. We'll get you ready for everything going on. Kings and the Lakers tonight. It's game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino. With over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Drive Into Fall event?
When it comes to getting the right truck, options are important. So this month at Hoblet, you have 2 options that will save you thousands. Right now, save up to $9,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. Or you can save thousands on finance charges with 0% interest for 60 months.
I'm sorry, did you just say 0% financing? I thought those days were long gone.
Not at Hoblet. We're always looking for ways to save you money. Plus, we have Northern California's best selection of Ram trucks with hundreds of new Rams available.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$9,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie after $6,000 factory rebates and $3,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory bonus cash, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. Special 0% for 60-month financing in lieu of rebates. No down payment required on approved credit. Must have 700 plus FICO to qualify. $1,666 per $1,000 borrowed. 5% savings. See dealer for details.
Hey man, gaining weight, low energy, lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Game night in Sacramento? Light up your night at Revival at the Sawyer. This rooftop hotspot is where the city comes alive. Elevated vibes, stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the Golden One Center. Celebrate the wins, escape the chaos, and be part of the scene before, during, and after every Kings game. Revival, the place to see and be seen. When the final buzzer sounds, the energy doesn't stop. It just moves upstairs. Join fellow fans, stay close to the action, and make every Kings night unforgettable. Book your game day reservation at RevivalSacramento.com.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Wrapping things up on game night here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall on for the high flyer, Henry Turner. Henry stays for Kings Live pregame. It's coming up at 7 o'clock. Jason Ross here as well. 7:30 tip in LA. G-Man with the call. All right, we've broken down the Kings. We'll find out what they do tonight, and obviously we'll get you ready for the season opener on Wednesday when we have game night right here from the Sactown studios before game 1 in Phoenix. But let's talk a little Lakers. They're coming back in next Sunday night as well, so this is a precursor. What happens tonight won't affect one iota what goes on next Sunday night, but at least we can kind of break down what's going on. We know no LeBron. He's out with the sciatica. He's not going to come back at least until November.
Right.
Luka's taking over the role of the face of the Lakers. He's come in.
So Luka's
great
the king.
shape. He's the king, yeah, for the time being at least. What do you make of the Lakers and where they're at right now?
I think the biggest transition for the Lakers is going to be how is DeAndre Ayton going to fit into the mix of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I honestly thought that the Lakers really felt like they needed a big man since, Anthony Davis left. They need a legitimate guy down there that's going to be able to, bang, be able to grab
They
rebounds.
almost picked up Mark Williams, and then they reneged the trade,
and give them some points down there. So DeAndre Ayton got the call. How is he going to be able to fit in to what they do, the overall scheme?
No doubt. And, DeAndre Ayton has shown he can be a very capable NBA player. He was the number 1 pick in the draft, for Pete's sake.
Right. And I thought he had a decent showing in Phoenix. I don't think it was the right scenario, the right fit for him. Maybe not the right system, but he showed what he could do. He had talent, and really at the center and some of the power forward position.
No doubt. And Austin Reeves, to me, is just a player who will continue to get better and better, and such a vital piece of what they do. Austin
Reeves is going to be an X factor for them because that LeBron and Luka is going to have the ball in their hands the majority of the time. I think Rui Hachimura is going to be a big part. How he's going to come out and be able to play. And then when you talk about guard play, they got our good friend Jake LaRavia. He's going to be able to come in and be a menace.
Yep.
But then what you going to do with Marcus Smart and Gabe Vincent?
No doubt. And Dalton Connect.
And Dalton Connect's going to be able to stretch the floor. Don't know where they're going to use him at the 3 or the 4, but this is a dude that can stretch the floor with the best of them.
Another team that's a little backlogged in that position as well. But it's so interesting. You look at, you talk about contract and salaries. You've got LeBron, who's at $52 million a year, and you've got Luka, who's at $54 million.
Ooh.
That's a stacked salary cap right there.
$100 million just for 2 players.
106. Yep.
Ooh, that's crazy. And we here in Sacramento is crying about Keegan's signing.
Puts it in perspective.
Man, don't it?
It does. All right, LeBron's entering his 23rd year. Game 1. You were there. You were in the commercial. We saw it here in Sacramento. Is this finally, we've been saying it forever, it hasn't happened to this point. There's just seemingly been no sign of slowdown in the man's game. That's why he's the king. Is this the year he's starting off unable to play? Is this the year where the body just finally stops to cooperate a little bit? Will it be all about postseason for LeBron? Obviously, they're going to have to fight for a position. We understand that. But are we going to see significant playing time reduced to get him for April?
Probably. I would probably say they're going to really, just shorten LeBron minutes, try to stretch him out a little bit. Now, it's going to be all about how LeBron feels about that, because remember, they talked about that last year, and he bucked against it. He said, oh, no, I want to play. Yeah. So it's just all about his mindset where he wants to be. If you ask me to look into a crystal ball.
Yeah, the high flyer crystal ball we bring out from time to time.
I would say LeBron plays this year, depending upon how he plays. I think next year will be his last year. Will be his last year.
Yeah.
Because, I definitely think that LeBron wants to send off. Mm-hmm. He wants to send off. He's not doing that this year. Yeah. You haven't heard anything about that.
He would have announced it in advance.
Right. So I think he's going to play this year and see how it works with Luka.
Yep.
And then depending upon how that looks, the year after this one, he's going to shut it down.
And that's good news in some respects for Kings fans. The fact he's not playing here this time around, who knows about the second matchup here, but certainly fans here, despite, of course, wanting to beat the Lakers and all of that, you want to see the King one last time come through Sacramento.
You always want to see the league's best.
Yeah.
I will say that. That's why I used to always get upset when some of the teams would come through that would have the mega superstars, and they would look at Sacramento
and they don't play.
And then, they don't play and they don't show up. I had to even tip my hat to LeBron one of the times. He came, he didn't play, but he came and he walked out. And, and our crowd went crazy. They're screaming LeBron. At least they got a chance to just even see him,
Exactly.
So, but it's just one of those things that, the Kings really have to change that narrative.
No doubt. We won't see LeBron. We've got a good chance of seeing Bronny tonight, though.
See a little bit of Bronny James and what he's done. And really, to Bronny James' defense, the kid tries. He's trying to do the right thing. He's not his dad. He probably won't ever be his dad.
We know that.
But can he be a good NBA player? Maybe so. Let's see what, all the hard work he brings. Now, is he putting in the work? I'm hearing that he is.
Yeah.
But let's see if it's going to translate to the court.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll see what the Lakers put out there tonight. We'll see what the Kings put out there tonight. Final preseason game, High Flyer. Anything you want to see tonight?
Progress, Scott.
How will you define it?
Progress. To see the guys play together cohesively as a unit, offensively and defensively. All those things are going to have to get better. The offense is going to have to get better. The defense is going to have to get better. The rebounding is going to have to get better. The passing is going to have to get better. So just see how these guys come out and play as a unit.
No doubt. Well, it's the final preseason game before it starts for real next week on Wednesday. And Henry, I've just got to say, thank goodness it's the last preseason game.
See, let's get it going for real.
Let's get this thing going for real. Let's get this thing going for real.
I hear you, Scott.
All right. Hopefully the Kings defensively will get some things done, defend that three-point line. Hopefully they'll make a few more three-pointers as well tonight. It's always fun, Kings and Lakers. It doesn't matter whether it's preseason, regular season, on the sidewalk. I don't care if it's a horse game. If it's Kings and the Lakers, it still means something.
Playing jacks, horseshoes, tiddlywinks, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it.
I'm signed up for it.
That's right.
All right, that does it for game night. Coming up next, Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross here with the High Flyer. 7:30 tip tonight. G-Man with the call. Enjoy it. Kings basketball all evening long. Sactown Sports, 1140.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best